Hi all, welcome to the channel, welcome to the workshop. So today we have pack 7 of the 66 Batmobile. So today we are not doing a great deal, I think. We're just extending the chassis. And I think we are starting on the rear axle as well. So let's get into it. Let's get building.
Welcome to the workshop. Tools are ready to play. We're gonna build something great, starting here today. Piece by piece we go now.
So kicking off this build pack with issue 27. Again, just give you a nice flick through the magazine. And as you can see, we've got a couple of extra chassis rails. They're basically the mirror image of what we've got here. And as you can see, we're just extending that. And it's only going to take 2 or 3 screws to do that. And then we'll have that at the end of it. And that's pretty much all we're working on today, just this rear end of the car. Right, so as you can see, we do have the 2 chassis rails, similar to what we'd had last time. And we're just going to be screwing those together with 2 of the CM screws. And there does seem to be quite a bit of metal work in this one. So just a quick dip into oil. And we can make sure that these go in nice and tight. So that's in there to go like that. And as you can see, there's no flex there at all. Now we are going to be mounting this to the car. And that's just going to sit under those 2 points there. And we're going to use 2 of the CM screws again to secure that. Just going to start with the center one. And then this end one. And again, just making sure that they are really tight. You don't want to overdo it because you end up just stripping the thread, but you do want to make sure that they're not going to come out. And that is all it's doing that stage. And as you can see, that has extended the car again, giving us a bit more of a scope of the width and the length. But we are going to be working on more of this chassis in the next few stages. So continuing with issue 28. And we've got these 2 crossbars, and we're just putting those in there again with some more CM screws, and then we'll have this. Now, as you can tell, these are also metal. I think all of this chassis is metal. So I'll just turn the car around like so. You've got this piece that will be going in just here. Now you have this little indent here, and that's going to take this tab on this one. So it needs to go under like that, and then slot in like so. And then we've got the CM screws to secure that. And then we've got the last one just going in there. And again, just making sure that they're all nice and tight, as we don't want any of this coming loose. It is worth noting, probably worth holding and supporting the chassis when you do these, just so you're not bending it out of shape. I'm going to finish off this stage with this crossbar at the end. And I do believe it is symmetrical, so it shouldn't matter which way it goes in. It's going to go in there and there like so. And again, 2 CM screws are going to hold that in place. So that's what that is looking like. You can see it on the top camera, much better. But that is all there's to do in that stage. Quick build pack, because this is issue 29, so this is the halfway point of the build pack. And again, as you can see, we do just have another cross member for the chassis. And we do have these little supports for the shocks. And that's all there is to do in that one. Right, so we've got these parts in this issue. These are metal, all of them. So even these shock parts are metal, which is quite good. We're just going to use two of the EM screws and secure those onto there like so. Now, as I said, there does seem to be a very quick build pack. And it's one of those things where you think, why have they separated all these out so much compared to when we've had lots and lots to do in some of these issues? I know they have to make up their certain amount of numbers and split all the parts of this car up between the packs, but it's a bit frustrating when you think, oh, great, I've got a new pack, and then there's very little to do. But we've got that in there like that. And in contrast, the Skyline we've just done recently, there were loads to do in that one. So that's going to sit in there like that. Now, I haven't tightened these fully because I'm guessing we're probably going to move those when it comes to having the shocks. The rest of it, the axle, etc., is going to go in there. But we are going to secure this in place with two CM screws. If you haven't seen the latest on the Skyline, it's worth going and checking that out because we've basically just built all the front engine up and looks absolutely amazing. But that is all there's to do in that stage. So moving on to stage 30. And looks like we've got the rear axle. So we're not doing anything with the chassis in this issue, it's just building up this part. Right, so we're going to start with these two plastic parts. We've got that little cross member, or cross, I guess it's universal joint, that will go into there. I'm going to use two AP screws to secure that in place. And yes, I did say AP screws, these are plastic. Now, I am assuming as these are plastic, they won't actually have any function. So I've got that looking like that. And then we're just going to place this assembly into here. Like that. Now, the picture does show this that way round, but presumably we're going to have to put something into this part. So if you've tightened it too much, then it's worth probably having it this way or leaving it loose so you can move it a little bit. My guess is this is probably the rear axle, and we're going to have the drive shaft that comes along here. And that's actually all there is to do in that stage. So we're not doing anything with this at the moment. So we will move on to issue 31. So we've got a part that's going on to the piece we've just had. And it looks like we're just assembling that like that. We have the rear axle done. So taking our rear axle, and that is metal, we're going to be placing this plastic part onto there like so. And we're going to use two of the AM screws to hold that in place. This is one of the points where it's a little bit frustrating, where you seem to have like one stage split over two issues. It's not so bad when you've got it as a build pack like this, but I'm sure if you were getting this weekly from your newsagents or something, you think, okay, I've got all these parts, not doing anything with it. we now need to take this piece, and that is going on this part here, like so. We've got some AP screws to hold that in place. Now when you put it in, you'll see that these two are the screw holes, and I believe it only goes one way around. Now there's no lugs or locating points with this, but it looks like it goes this way up. We've got two AP screws holding this bit in place, as I said, like so. And then we do have this cover that'll push on here. Right, so we've got that one pushed in there, like so. And that is all just to do in that stage. Right, so we've got the last issue of this build pack, issue 32. Now, before we get into that, just like to say, if you can hit that subscribe button, that would be great. Quite a few of my viewers, I notice, are still not subscribed, and it really does help the channel out. And it looks like we're finishing off this with some leaf springs for the Batmobile. Looks like just a single side for the minute, and then we'll have that at the end of it. So the first thing we need is this leaf spring, and that is metal. Got a little bit of spring to it, which is good. Now it looks like it goes on this way around. So we've got a long and a short edge. And we want the short edge facing this way. We're going to secure that in place with this plate. And that's going to sit like that. And we're going to put an EM screw through there. Now I do have an EM screw still spare from the previous issue, so I'll use that one. Right, so we've got that one mounted in there. Now we need these little U brackets. And again, they are metal. And these are just going to go over the axle like so, through the holes like that, and then we've got 4 little nuts to go on the ends of these. And they have given us a little tool for those nuts, which is good. So I'm just going to get these on there loosely first, and then we'll just use this tool to tighten them all up. So we have that looking just like that. And the final thing to do with this one is we have this piston. That's going to go onto that part there. And we're going to use an EM screw to secure that in place. So that's just going in there like so. And again, I'm going to leave that slightly loose so it's got some maneuverability. That is all there is to do in that stage, and all there is to do in that build pack. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please remember to hit that like button and give me a massive thumbs up. So that's the Batmobile done for another month. Not a very big pack to do, but we obviously have added a lot more of the chassis detail there. So very quick build. And we do obviously now have our rear axle. So I'm assuming that in the next build pack, we'll probably finish that off and potentially even mount it to the vehicle. So that will be great. If you want to get this for yourself, if it's still available, there will be links in the description below. So please do check those out. And if you want to see more of how this progresses or anything else that goes in the workshop, please do remember to hit the subscribe button and ding that bell, because then you'll get notified when I release new videos. And it really does help the channel out. Until the next time, I'll see you around. Cheers.